Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday wake-up call. Excited to have you with us today. And we have Chris Smith is going to give us a great word this morning. He is just a great friend of mine for over 15 years and a great dad, man of God, and, you know, just a big old heart, and love just always hearing what Chris has to give us. He's going to have a great word today. So, Chris, are you there?
I am. Thank you very, very much, Patty, for the introduction. And I'm also jealous. Y'all notice she got the call started very efficiently. She got the line muted and the recording started, all super duper fast and efficient, unlike what I did last week. So thank you very, very much, Patty. As you guys know, we're going through the book, The Little Things Matter by W. Todd Smith. We are actually in chapter 67 today, and it is titled Living Beyond Yourself. And I love this chapter, so I'm very excited to get it started. If I have a little bit of a scratchy throat, please forgive me. My son, I was trapped in a hotel room with him last weekend as he went to his basketball tournament, and he spread his germs all over me. So anyway, I may have to occasionally cough, so please forgive me. But anyway. It says, never in my life have I seen more selfishness than I see today. I am witnessing a higher percentage of people who leave their shopping carts and parking spaces next to their cars, who hardly acknowledge the store clerk serving them, and who won't return a phone call or an email, who won't RSVP for a party, or who insist on being the center of attention. It's as if people are living in their own self-serving cocoons with little regard to what's going on around them. But here's the good news. For those of us who want to attract success into our life by achieving our personal best, we can stand out from the crowd by putting the interest of others before our own. So I love how he kind of did that. He kind of started out all doom and gloom and people are horrible today. But he found the positive side for that, and the positive side of that is we can stand out. We can be different, and I love that. And he goes on and says, Zig Ziglar, arguably one of the best sales trainers of our day, said, you can have anything in life you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. When I think of people who are unselfish, here are the words that come to mind. Generous, kind, likable, friendly, caring, respected, authentic. I love that word, authentic. Authentic, benevolent. It's interesting to see how many of these attributes are required for success. It's interesting to see how many of these attributes required for success go hand in hand with selflessness. Take a few minutes to think of the unselfish people you know. Do they have any of those positive traits that we just mentioned? Assuming that our natural tendency is towards selfishness, we must be intentional about putting others first. Your daily routine literally presents hundreds of opportunities. Here are some ideas to open your mind to the endless possibilities available to us. So the list, it says, when you take your gum or mint out, one, to those around you before helping yourself. As you walk through a doorway, smile, hold the door open, and say something nice to the people, even if you have to wait for them to pass through the doorway. Walking and someone is going to cross your path, stop, acknowledge the person, and let him or her go first. If you live in a home with others, belongings picked up so other family members don't have to see them up on your behalf. If you work in an office, keep your personal area clean and do your part to make sure the overall work environment is one that all your coworkers can appreciate. In driving, show courtesy to other drivers around you. When sending emails, extra few seconds to show your interest in people. When having conversations with people, more, talk less, Wait patiently for the opportunity to speak. If you have friends or family members going through a difficult period, pick up the phone, how much you appreciate them, and offer a word of encouragement. So I love this chapter. I love what it's talking about, putting others before you. And, of course, as a youth pastor, this was a softball and an easy one. When Christ was asked, what's the greatest commandment at all? He said, first, love your God, with all your heart, your might, your soul. I mean, just love God with all of your being. Put him before everything else, all your own needs. Love God. And then second, love your neighbor as yourself. So it's instruction biblically as well. We have to treat others in a way that we'd want ourselves treated. We have to put others before us in a lot of ways. I know many of us serve in different ways in our communities, and it's a wonderful way to do it. So anyway, I just really love this chapter, and I just kind of go back to the first part of it where it kind of says that it's not normal, and it's just really calling us out to be abnormal, to stand out, to be separated, and to be noticed by the way we treat people. So with Patty, I'm going to turn it over to you, see your thoughts, and I'll come back in a minute.
Well, I mean, I love it, to be, selfless, to let people go first. My grandma, I refer to her a lot. She lived to be 106, but she was probably the most servant person I ever met. It's like we always kidded about food because my kids would sometimes fight over the last piece of cake, but Grandma, would make sure, that everybody got served before her. And it just does make a difference even out in public. Like if I'm at the grocery store and I see somebody has fewer groceries to me, I always say, you go first. And you can just tell that they appreciate it. And, I've heard it said many times on this wake-up call between different ones about just, to compliment people and just to be there, to be that person that shines out. And it can be a really crazy world, and you don't know somebody's story. You just don't know their story if they're not that way. So I even try with cranky people. I used to be county treasurer, and there was this one lady that I remember she was just really hard to deal with. And I would just go out of my way to be nice to her. And everybody else hated to wait on her. And one day, she just started talking to me, and she's like, you are just the nicest person. And she just shared with me how she had lost both her husband and her son, at a young age, and it just made her very bitter. And that kind of made me show, sometimes just being nice to people, they'll sometimes open up, take that edge off. But from then, she was friendly every time she came to our office. We just saw a total transformation. So I think it helps, it just taught me to be nice and, just love people and be that kind of person. So that's what I have, Chris. I'll send it back to you for the Little Matters Challenge this morning.
And definitely a good word. And just like you, I really do enjoy. I love turning a sour person sweet. I love getting the cashier that's having a bad day, and you can just tell, because it's hard to hide the way we feel sometimes, and some are better at it than others. But to get that person that's having a bad day and to make them smile, to make them feel warm, it just there's so much joy in it, in my opinion. And it doesn't always have to be about business or building a giant network. Sometimes it's just about doing the right thing. And just like Zig Ziglar says, you help enough other people get what they want, you get everything you want. And I think it's kind of the same when it's treating people right. When you have the right attitude, when you start the day with the right focus and the right mindsets, and the mindsets just to turn sour people sweet, just to make people smile, just to make people feel better. When you go out with those type of intentions, everything else around you starts to change. So anyway, little things that matter. I encourage you to be aware throughout the day of opportunities to be unselfish and then to act on those opportunities. Then there's a chance to take your selflessness to a higher level. Millions of people need food, shelter, health care, and protection from abuse. Count your blessings and give from your heart time, money, and man, there's a lesson in just the time thing right there. When you put your needs, desires, and interests of others before your own, you will develop deeper friendship, people's respect for you will grow, and you will feel better about the person you are becoming in the process. So, guys, that's the end of our chapter. Really enjoyed all of you being here today. Remember, we do these calls Monday through Friday. We go through the book Monday through Thursday. We have different leaders in our industry come and do these calls every single morning. So please join us on the other days. We'd love to have you. And Patty will unmute the lines and let us all say goodbye to each other. Have a great day, guys.
That's exactly what it is. In the seventh grade.
Thank you, Chris.
Bye-bye.
Good morning.
Sorry,
Good morning.
I love that every 1 hour. People sweet.
Thank you.
I haven't even